Ready to go.
Okay. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. Today we're replacing the motor on this Murray Go Kart. The Tecumseh motor it's got now, the PowerSport motor, it's a good motor, but it doesn't have the kind of power you expect from a modern go-kart. So instead of using the Predator, which we use quite often, we're going to go with the Lifan motor. It's a 212. It's got a little bit more horsepower and a little bit more torque than the Predator. And we haven't had a chance to try it yet, so we figured this is a pretty big go-kart. It's a perfect place to put it on. So all you new people out there, go ahead and subscribe. It's free, and it's what we work for. So let's get started. Job one's going to be get the old motor out of the way. That's pretty easy peasy. There we go. The only thing we need to do is remove the this half of the torque converter and undo this plate, and then scoot it that way a little bit. Take the linkage off the gas and go. Up. Insides are coming out. Let's keep you together. There's half of it. And now once we unbolt the motor, we can just take these bolts out and go that way. That's it. Now we'll go underneath and take the other bolts out. As always, we've got a magnet to put the nuts and bolts on so we don't lose anything. So let's move over and get the linkage. We'll give ourselves a little slack and she'll pop right out. Well, they usually pop right out. This one popped right out. And that's it for the linkage. Now this motor's free. And this motor's ready to go. We'll get her out of the way. And this little guy is a Honda copycat, just like the Predator. So she should be a pretty easy install. That fell into place a lot easier than you might expect. So next up, let's bolt her back together. When you're doing the break-in, the first thing you want to do is drain out any oil that might be in it. Most motors come with very little or no oil, but you don't want to be surprised by what the manufacturer considered correct. Now we're adding 20 ounces of just standard issue motor oil. And take our time so we don't make too much of a mess. Break-ins can be a messy job. You see we're dripping out just a little bit, but that's okay. Now you always use standard issue oil. Do not use, and don't even try to use synthetic oil for a break-in, because it'll never break in. Synthetic is great oil for running, but when you're doing a break-in, it won't break down the motor fast enough, so you'll never get fully broken in. And now, even though we put in the manufacturer's recommended, we're going to go here, we're going to check it, and we're in the middle of the stick, so life is good. So now we'll put some gas in, we'll start her up, and we're going to let her run for about 20 minutes or half an hour. Let's get some gas in it and get her started. Now, once we get her started, we're going to let her run for about half an hour.
See, full choke. Let's make sure the gas is on. Gas is on, choke is full. Let's give her a run. She's been running for about 20 to 25 minutes, which is enough for the first round of oil. So now we're going to go ahead and take this oil out and put some new oil in. It's a little messy to drain one of these on a go-kart. And it's a little noisy doing a break-in, but that's okay. It's worth the time. Okay, that's round one. Let's clean up just a little and put her on the ground for round two. Now we're just repeating the same process we did for the first round. The only difference is we'll let this one run a little bit longer. Now we know we're all drained out. We're all nice and empty. Let's go ahead and fill her up with high test. Doing a break-in with 2 sets of oil will increase the amount of time your motor lasts by quite a bit. The whole idea is you get the big pieces out with the first one, which is why we run for about 20 minutes. And then on the second set of oil, we'll run this for about half an hour because we know most of the break-ins already happened. And we're just getting the little detail work now. Okay, let's start her up and let her run for half an hour. Okay, I think I've gone deaf. Now we get her back up on the jack stands. And drain the oil. Okay, now that she's done draining, we're going to fill her with full synthetic. Now, your break-in process stops completely when you go with full synthetic, so you can't run it for twice as long with full synthetic. It just won't work. You have to use standard oil, or you're never going to break the motor in at all. So let's fill her up and get her running. Okay, now we've got everything that every guy wants in a go-kart. We've got a nice big frame and more power. So let's see how this Lifan motor runs compared to a Predator. Now I'm pretty impressed with this little Lifan motor. The torque curve is pretty steep. It gets more power at the bottom end than the Predator motor does, which brings the entertainment value way up. Now, I will say that the jets that come in this motor and the carburetor are completely unacceptable. It's running lean. You can feel it running lean when you drive it. So we're going to go ahead and rejet it and see if that doesn't put a little bit more spark in it. So all you new people out there, if you made it this far, you might as well subscribe. It's free and it's what we work for. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.